Ladies and gentlemen, please join in welcoming the Postmaster General of the United States, Patrick Donahoe.
Good evening, everybody. Good evening, everybody. All right, good. All right, ready to roll? I'm very pleased to be here tonight. Allan, thank you very much for the invitation. It was great. It's sort of a truism that if you work in the Postal Service, you're automatically a stamp aficionado. After all, in postal jobs, you get to see stamps just about every day, even if they're whizzing by on sorting machines. And you can't help but to be drawn to them. I've been a stamp collector for myself for almost 50 years, and I still get a thrill when I add to my modest collection. It's modest. It's a wonderful passion to have, and it's a wonderful passion to share. And that's what's so special about this museum. You get to share your passion with your family, who are here tonight, friends, and even with fellow visitors who are here for the same reason that you are. You get to spend some time interacting with history, with beautiful images, and our shared heritage. And you get to do so in a truly wonderful venue. When I became Postmaster General 3 years ago, I exercised some executive privilege and asked to get a tour of the Postmaster General's stamp collection. Well, they took me down to the sub-basement, and it was kind of like a scene from a movie, you know, when they open up the vault and a mummy comes out, but no, they opened up the doors, there was no vault, and as you can imagine, it was pretty exciting to walk in there and see all these rare pieces. And for me, I love history, so it was moving for me also to go in and see the history that was in there. And after all, it is our national stamp collection. That Postmaster General's collection is our national stamp collection. But I'll tell you what, I had a feeling of dread just about that same time. Here I was, standing in the second sub-basement of our headquarters building down on LaFont Plaza with all these beautiful, delicate artifacts of our history and our art collection. I think, Allan, every time I talk about the art collection, we've added more collection that we keep bringing over. I think we're up to about 6,000 pieces at this point. But our building's not too far from the Potomac River. And it's also not unheard of to hear of a pipe that bursts, right? And so I said, what would we do if this area ever flooded? And these people were looking at me, they were like, well, it hasn't flooded yet. Well, I'll tell you, the word yet really got to me. And so thanks to Allan Kane, Dr. Wayne Clough, and a bunch of smart people here at this Postal Museum and at the Smithsonian Institution and our own team within the Postal Service, we negotiated a transfer of our collection to the museum. I couldn't be more proud of that partnership. We now have a wonderful way to showcase stamps that were hidden away in our sub-basement. The Postal Service gets a truly world-class care for our collection, thanks to Bill Gross and others who have been so generous. Allan and his team at the Postal Museum have done a tremendous job pulling this together, and it is really a great result. And I'm also pleased to note it's on much higher ground. All of us here tonight have a passion for stamps, and it's important that we continue to cultivate that passion. The National Postal Museum will do quite a lot in the coming years to elevate awareness, to educate young people, and to cultivate passions around stamps and beyond stamps. Stamps are the gateway to learning about our heroes and events that populate our history. They're the gateway to themes and values that shape our culture. They're small, they're delicate, and they're beautiful, but they are part of who we are. And we've got a wonderful home for all of them now here at the Postal Museum. So what a great place and what a great time to unveil our newest stamp. 95 years ago, the Postal Service, and back then it was a post office department, sold a sheet of 100 misprinted 24-cent Curtis Jennies. There were 100 sheets printed. We sold one with that 100 stamps. And a Jenny, which was a World War I biplane, of course, everyone knows, appeared upside down. Now, rumor has it, and I think this is true, and Allan probably knows this, that the clerk that sold these sheets of stamps in 1918 had never seen a plane before. This is 1918. In any event, those 100 stamps, the inverted Jennies, became the most collectible stamp of the 20th century. Some of you here own one. The rest of us here want to own one. So, we thought it would be great to have some fun and build some extra interest in the history of stamps by issuing a stamp about our most famous stamp. And to celebrate and commemorate that very special stamp, I want to have Allan, come on up, Allan, to help me unveil the 2013 $2 inverted Jenny. Allan. On the count of 3, we're going to do it. Ready? You guys want to help count? Ready? 1, 2, 3. There it is. The inverted Jenny. And it looks like we didn't get it printed the right way this time either. Hold on. Stay here. All right. One other thing. Please come up here. You know, I will tell you, I've had the pleasure of working for this guy and with this guy and for him. Again, I work for him now that he's over here, believe me. But he knows. And many of you in here know the same feeling. But at any rate, I just wanted to say what a tremendous person Allan Kane is, and he has been to our Postal Service. And this hobby, and the Smithsonian, and many other things. And he has been relentless. This was not an easy thing to get done. You think things are easy to get done in Washington? Getting this done is a tribute to everybody in this room, but in a special tribute to this guy right here. So, we have something for Allan here tonight, and it is what it is. He's the first one to get the actual Jenny stamps and the die print, the actual print that we use to make these, first one. And it is in special recognition of the opening of the Gross Gallery, and it's for a special person, Allan Kane, on this evening. Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Wow, Jesus. My wife is not going to be able to live with me anymore. You know, after the kind words Pat said, I feel really terrible in correcting one item that he mentioned. Really, but I have to, Pat, I have to. He did call me and say, help, the vault could flood. Can you take 3,000 works of art? And I said, sure, we can about fit those into our vault. And then the trucks started to roll. And then Ted came in, we're up to 10,000. And Ted came back and he said, we're at 20,000. And I think we're still counting at 35,000. I don't know where Ted Wilson is. So I think we're about 35,000. Actually, we're probably one of the largest art museums at the Smithsonian right now in terms of artwork. It's amazing. I just got to thank a few people, and then we're going to cut the ribbon and have a little good time. I hope this thing works. It's going to be interesting. But let me thank a few people. About 7 years ago, I went to one of our council members, who happens to be a builder, and he's also in commercial real estate. And I said, "Help! We have such great stuff, and there's no room here to show anything. What should I do?" And he took all the plans of the building, he walked around and around and around, and he came back and he said, "You only have one option. Go upstairs to the lobby and take over the entire lobby area." That was Jay Hoffman. And I thought about it, and I looked at it, and I said, and once again, I didn't know God was looking over us and she was a stamp collector. So I didn't think it was possible. It was just too many political things that had to happen. Well, then Jay turned around and teamed up with a lady on my staff named Roxanne, and they became pit bulls. They were unbelievably aggressive. They kept biting at you. You got to try, you got to try, you got to try. And they started to push. Jay couldn't be here tonight, but Roxanne is. Roxanne, will you stand up, please? Where is she? Over there. She is one of the two pit bulls. Now, I keep telling Secretary Clough and my boss that the Postal Museum is a cheap date. We're a cheap date. Why? Because we have a very small staff, but they're damn productive. They're amazingly productive, and they're very dedicated, and they get a lot of things done. So will the staff members here tonight please stand up? Now, although we have a small staff, we got hundreds of volunteers, amazing group of people. And nobody is better than the Council of Philatelists, who, without them, we never, ever would have made the Gross Gallery a reality, the Council of Philatelists. Will the members of the council please stand up? While the council members are all great, there's one in particular that I want to single out. Charles Shreve is my Superman for the museum. He has worked tirelessly for 7 years in making this gallery a reality. I could be up here all night telling you everything that he has done. Charles, will you please stand up? Ginny Clark, listen to this one. Ginny is the head of fundraising for the Smithsonian. We have 477 donors to the Gross Gallery right now. So far, 477 donors. Will the donors in the audience please stand up? This is the third event, one more tomorrow in probably 5-6 days. A ton of work, and there's a small group of folks that have actually made this happen, and they also have performed their regular job. Amy Bontrager, Allison Wickens, Hannah, Beth, Cheryl Gibney, and Kevin O'Keefe. Fantastic job. This is tough. Pulling these off are really tough. And lastly, I have to thank my wife Sylvia for putting up for me for 40. She put up with me for 44 years, but the last 4 weeks were kind of stressful. And we weren't doing so good the last 4 weeks, I got to tell you. Sil, stand up. Now, we're going to try to, well, we'll see how this thing works. We're going to cut the ribbon, open up the gallery. There are 3 ways to get in and out. One door is down there, one door is down there, and there's a hidden door that you have to find it. Well, you'll see it in a few minutes, I hope, if it works anyway. There's a hidden door. So the idea is we'll cut the ribbon and go into the gallery, and downstairs we have dessert. Some go into the gallery, some go to dessert, then come back and switch, okay, because there's a lot of people here. But at 10:30 tonight, Pat is going to give out 3 very special gifts, very, very special gifts. And you have to be downstairs to win it in the atrium. If you're not there, in fact, if you're all not there, I win. So you've got to be downstairs, 10:30 tonight, and he's going to pull those things out of a hat, and we'll see who wins it. And then when you leave at the end of the evening, and hopefully you won't rush away, it's Saturday night, isn't it? I don't remember anymore. So hopefully you don't rush out. But when you do, take a look at the windows into America. They should all be lit up on the outside when you leave. Now, I'd like to ask the following folks to come up and help me open up the Gross Gallery. Bill Gross, will you please come up? Secretary Clough, Postmaster General Donahoe, our lead curator on the project, Cheryl Gons, the chairman of the Council of Philatelists, Don Sundman, and Charles Shreves, please come up.
Ladies and gentlemen, the William H. Gross Stamp Gallery is now open. Please feel free to enter the gallery for viewing through all 3 doors. Dessert and reception will take place in the atrium. At 10:30, the Postmaster General will draw 3 winning tickets for this evening's raffle. You need to be in the atrium at the time of the drawing to win.